Hey guys, it's Jorge. Today is one of those special days, the days that you as a car enthusiast do not take for granted. I received the phone call that I'd been waiting for a very long time last night, and I knew that today we were going to do something excellent. I'm hanging out with Cody Nogowski. We're outside of Echelon on a Saturday morning. A few months ago, I took a 720 for a run, and today we kick it up a few cylinders. Welcome to Tormenting Tarmac, and this is the podcast where the enthusiast never dies. Let's go. Jorge Aquino coming to you live and direct. I've already told you where I am. I've already told you what I'm doing. Well, at least you probably think you know. If you don't know, now you know. Cody Nogowski sitting right next to me. What's going on, my brother?
How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Every single time I link up with you, I feel like we're always up to like utter shenanigans.
Pretty much my life in a nutshell, honestly. It's hard to explain it to a lot of people, but it has definitely been crazy.
I want to first of all take the time to go ahead and thank Cody. And second of all, I want to go ahead and thank the owner of this respective car,
Yep.
Tyler of Phoenix.
Yep.
What an absolute gentleman and a half for allowing us to do this today. We very much appreciate it. So when you listen to this podcast, I hope we're doing it justice. And I also want to go ahead and thank the ITR Visual Boys for hooking it up today, sound-wise. We weren't sure how we were going to record it, but they came through for us in the clutch, and they're right behind us, and we appreciate them very much for allowing us to do what we're doing today. Tell me what we're in today, Cody.
We are in a Lamborghini Aventador SVJ, one of my favorite cars ever built.
That's not normal. What we're doing is not normal.
No.
Since I was 12, I have always wanted to go ahead and experience a big V12 Lamborghini. I saw the Lamborghini Murcielago in a Motor Trend magazine, and I also saw it in a Busta Rhymes magazine. And you might think to yourself, Jorge, why didn't you start off with a Mercy? Emotional reasons, that's why. That's a car that I build myself up to. We'll get there. We're not starting off too bad in the 6.5 liter Icon that's right behind us here.
Yep.
So, you ready to go?
All right. You tell me when to go.
Let's do it.
All right.
We're going to be talking about so many fun things today. We're going to go ahead and talk about this experience that we're having right now. Plus, we're going to be talking... Cody, oh my sweet baby Jesus. This is going to be a great day. Let me tell you that right now. We're also going to be talking, Cody having gone on this excellent Pagani rally that he went to just a couple weeks back, and it's going to be incredible. So let me kind of give you guys some background as to how Cody and I do things on our when we do a podcast together, because it's now going to be our 4th time doing a collaboration, and it's always a fun time. I know you guys enjoy it. I think I might enjoy it more than you guys, but it is what it is. The first time we did, oh sweet, this is going to be sweet. Keep it together. I'm a professional, goddammit. The first time we ever did something, we recorded a podcast over at Echelon. Shout out to Echelon always. We took out the Viper ACR afterwards. So I wish we would have done it prior to, but it's okay. And
It's fun to drive.
yeah, it was quite the drive. And one of the beautiful things is, hang on. It's like I'm 12 all over again. So one of the things is, Cody is a very, to me, talented driver. He knows how to reach the limits without making the passenger riding shotgun absolutely shit themselves. And that's something I can truly appreciate. Now, that being said, I know that you've done multiple videos explaining how it is that you come about having these cars to you and whatnot. You recently did a video with Eddie X. Eddie X. Shout out to Eddie.
Yeah, shout out to Eddie. Eddie's
he's the man. He just did a video with Alex and her M3, and then also did a video with Steven and his RS5. I mentioned them because they were recently on my podcast not too long ago. Shout out to Steven and Alex. But you guys went out in the LFA.
Yep.
And today we're in the SVJ, same owner.
Yep.
How is it that you have this SVJ at your disposal right now?
So I do a lot of the maintenance for the cars. I take them to wherever they need to go for service. Pretty much maintain his collection. If they need a wash, I set up a washer. I wash them myself. pretty much scratch his back, he scratches mine. That's how that works.
Right.
He's a very nice gentleman. So as long as you take care of the right people will also take care of you.
That is a fact. I can attest to that. You know, the amount of people that I've been kind to, and then they go ahead and share these experiences, such as Cody. Now, I've said this on social media a multitude of times, and I'm going to go ahead and say it now on the podcast. And I'm not just blowing smoke up his ass because we're homies. Oh, man. Oh, I love car culture. Okay. I'm not blowing smoke up Cody's ass. Cody does something special for the car community. There are people who I consider to be pillars within the car community. You know, and what I mean by that is people who I think are young but are mature enough in the community and are able to go ahead and be the right example to others. Because we want it to be that the Phoenix car community is known as people who go about car culture right. And I think that's incredibly important, in particular in times that we're living in today, right? And I mean by that, like, you know, takeover culture and all that, you know, all the toxicity. And so Cody always does things the right way. And one of the special things is, yo, that's not even like $6,000, bro.
Oh, no.
Holy moly. But the thing about Cody is the one that's getting access to these things, but he doesn't keep it to himself. I actually posted this up on social media, which, by the way, you can find me at Tormenting Tarmac, and please go follow Cody on his route to 100K by the end of the year.
Hopefully.
At CJN
Hopefully.
Photography. Please go check him out. But Cody shares these experiences, and that's not something that you just do. You don't go ahead and just say, hey, do you want to go ahead and shoot an LFA? Sure. You know, do you want to go ahead and shoot an SVJ? Sure. Hey, Jorge, do you want to go out for a drive in the SVJ? That's not normal. And the fact that he shares that with the content creators that are within the space, or just bringing it out to car shows when, you know, the owner's not available to do so, that's a really special thing. Why do you feel that way, bro?
Because I was always the kid that would cherish the moments that I got sitting in the cars, or like getting to talk to the owners. Like everyone, like, especially people who are very respectful, like they'll respect you no matter what, just because you have a similar love for cars. I don't like the big dicking everything. Right. It's not really my favorite thing. So I just try to give anybody an experience in something that they normally wouldn't have as often as I can do it. And I think the owner of the car sees that in me as well, and I think he really appreciates it, because it's not like I'm just going and beating the shit out of his cars and then taking him back to him in a worse condition. It's like I'm washing the car and filling up the gas tank, all with my personal money, my personal stuff. I'm giving kids. That's my biggest thing. I want to create a bigger dynamic of good car culture with the younger community.
Yep.
So fucking 12-year-olds to 17-year-olds, anything, keep them out of doing stupid things, and maybe give themselves a goal to maybe do something that I do, or get into a similar position where they don't have to go out and do stupid things. They can find someone who's wealthy, who's smart, who did things the right way.
Who can be a role model to them,
a role
too,
model, essentially.
You know? Actually put them on the right path to their own successes.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't know, I like the feeling that I get when I can make others happy with the things that I get to enjoy.
Right.
So I mean, honestly, you have to be somewhat selfish in your own life to put yourself in a position like this, but I try not to be selfish with at least sharing what I get to experience. Like the LFA, like that, no one gets to see an LFA. Like
right.
There's damn near none, and none that drive. So I just try my best to make sure I can do my part, because I have a pretty good following in the community. I get to experience cars that
It's a nice
a lot of
Fire Red over
people,
there.
yeah, a little 600 LT.
Yeah. Well, oh, here we go. Oh, red light in a 6.5 liter V12. Are you kidding me? Oh, sweet Lord in the heavens. I love this thing.
Yeah.
I love podcasting. It's been such a great therapeutic thing. And here I am. You talk about, like, you want to give kids, like, my voice is cracking right now. You talk about wanting to go ahead and give kids those wonderful experiences. I'm 33 fucking years old, and I'm having the time of my life. You know, this is what we do it for, bro. We don't get this normal access all the time.
No.
And, you know, it's okay. Tormenting Tarmac was built on the fact that we're not journalists, so we don't get the accessibility. So if we can go ahead and open it up to the public, and from an audio perspective, and today, thanks to ITR, hopefully some visuals on top of that, like that means so much to me to be able to share that with others, because and we just put the window back up, and it'll probably be a little bit better audio, but at the same time, that was terrific. My ear is like music right now.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know, you know, you don't daily this because you've got your own daily. You've got your C6, which I heard today, really for the first time.
Yeah.
God, that thing sounds good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But you do take Tyler's SVJ out and you give it a run so it can go ahead and maintain itself.
Honestly, yeah, it's more for driving this car. I don't take this car out at all.
Right.
This one is Tyler's child. This is his favorite car in the collection. So I try to not bother him to take it very often.
So for him to let us do this today, that's not normal. That's very special. And again, Tyler,
I mean, if I ask him, he doesn't often say no unless he's busy. So he's very, very lenient with the cars in that sense. I just try not to ask about this car because, like, if he's going to a dinner or if he has a lunch, I know which car he's going to take.
Right.
He's going to take this car, sometimes the STO, but very rarely. So it's not that it's a rare occasion, it's just that I try not to make it a normal occasion, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't really...
It maintains the specialness.
Yeah, 100%.
To him, it maintains the specialness to anybody you share this car with. Maintains the specialness for you.
Well, he's been out of town for like the past month. So this car obviously needed to be at least started up, moved around a little bit, get the fluids moving, because people don't understand that's how you keep cars working.
Absolutely, in particular something like this.
Yep. So I was like, hey man, the cars obviously need to be washed this weekend. I'm gonna come grab them, do a couple things with them. Probably no shows.
That's a sick convertible E-Type over there, by the way. Sorry.
And so now we're in an SVJ.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and kind of give a technical review of this car in a way. You know, I said we're not journalists, but at the same time, let's pretend I'm Johnny Lieberman and your favorite. By the way, shout out to Johnny Lieberman. I just had to do that real quick. I know that might be a little bit of big dick energy, but when you got that opportunity, you kind of have to flex it just a little bit.
I mean, I would.
But so, what year is this SVJ?
This one is a 2020.
2020. Okay, I'm looking
2020 or 2021.
2021 or 2020. Okay, that's perfect. So right now we are in Corsa. We've been driving in Corsa since we left Echelon, which I thought that it was going to beat us up a lot more. It's actually not that bad. Is there a lunge? Sure. Let it be known right now, this is my first ever big V12 experience, and I'm having the time of my life right now. And by the way, I'm just going to flat out say this right now. Because Tyler has been so kind, that's exactly the reason why I'm not asking to go ahead and get behind the wheel today. Because I know that there's limits to the things, and I respect people too much to try and ever go over the limits. Yeah. So Cody's going to be behind the wheel for the entirety of this drive, and that's perfectly fine with me because I feel 100% safe and confident in his driving abilities. That all being said, we're in Corsa. This car has just a tick over 5,100 miles from what I can see.
Yep.
This car is a driver, brother.
So the second he got the car, we did a 2,500 mile rally.
Why does that not surprise me?
Yeah.
Did we talk about that the first time we did?
I think we like touched on it because I took the ACR.
The ACR, yes.
And he took this.
Okay.
But yeah, he loves this car. I don't know, like a lot of people hate SVJs and like Lamborghini in a whole because of the way they drive. But honestly, the drivetrain in the SVJ is really nice.
It's robust. It's stout.
It's not a GT3 RS, but it is faster.
Sure. I mean, so, look at the Nürburgring numbers. I mean, this thing is almost 4,000 pounds.
Yep, this is a big car.
And it does the Nürburgring under 7?
Yeah. I don't know the exact time of the car.
I mean, at one time, it was the fastest car around the Nürburgring.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is absolute, utter insanity. You know, I've never been in an SV, but I think most people will tell you who have been in an SV, that thing is a crazy experience in and of itself. However, somehow, some way, this SVJ is a little bit like, it's like smoothed out a little.
It's way smoother.
Yeah.
The SV, so I've driven an SV pretty hard as well, and this car is a night and day difference from the SV. The SV, I like the SV, I like rough. I like really visceral cars. I like cars that hurt my
This
back.
is still very visceral, by the way.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Extremely.
Yeah, no, 100%. But in comparison to an SV, it's a very different car.
Yeah.
Like this is actually, you can drive this car. And especially if you're a little shorter, this would be an amazing car. Like my head hits the roof right now, and I'm not.
You and I are
I'm
about the
not
same
tall.
height. We're
Yeah,
like 5'9".
so-
You're 5'10". I'm about like just under 5'9".
Yeah.
And like we're quote unquote comfortable.
Oh
And
yeah, I could do this for hours. Yeah.
Yeah, and the one thing that is amazing to me, Cody, is again, I've never sat in one to the extent that I'm sitting in one now, but we have a lot of space to one another. And I bring that up because you compare that to a new Gen 4 GT.
Oh,
yours and I's shoulders would be touching right now, from
no.
what I understand, right?
100%. Me and Nikayla, our shoulders touch when she rode passenger in the 4GT.
Bro, our shoulders
and she's
touch
like
when we-
this. She's
when we-
tiny.
She's
so.
tiny. I've seen Nikayla. Shout out to Nikayla. And you and I's shoulders were touching when we rode in the ACR.
Yeah, 100%.
We were real,
yeah.
like, it was like the door was like up on our shoulders on the other side.
Yeah.
Like
It's a very wide cockpit. This car,
it is.
Like actually.
It's definitely giving you fighter jet feels.
Yeah, 100%.
That cliche is true.
It is.
I would say. So, how would you say is the best way to get the overall experience out of a big V12 Lambo?
I just like going fast in it because this car goes fast so easily. Like it just like it doesn't feel like you're doing 120 in this car when you're doing 120 in this car. It feels like you're going like 60.
Right.
So when you really get on this car, it's crazy how fast it can go. I haven't had the opportunity to track a big V12 yet. Dear Lord, please one day.
Right.
But I've driven a few through canyons, hard. Like it's an overall great experience car. Anywhere, no matter where you take the car, I think you'll have a good time.
Yeah.
But I would really, really like to track one and see what it feels like. Because everyone says there are piles of shit on the track, but I refuse to believe it until I do it.
Sure.
So that's going to be my biggest goal, and I think that's where I'll enjoy the car the most, in my opinion.
I think that over the last decade, we have seen Lamborghini do something entirely different as to what they've been prior to Aventador and prior to Huracan, to be completely fair. I've said it a million times, Mercy and Diablo, those are my Lambos.
Yeah.
Those are the cars that I adore,
Yep.
that, give me the fizz. But you remember this, and I'm going to bring this up now. Not too long ago, on Tormenting Tarmac, I put up a post. They had brand new M2. I like the color.
I don't care. That car looks like a pig. Don't care.
Yeah,
I got that car.
I've given my thoughts. Me, Alex, and Steven gave our thoughts on the episode a couple weeks back, which by technicality dropped yesterday, but time. I said that it gives you how like Barbie dolls are molded, how like they have the spaces.
Yep.
The M2 kind of gives me that vibe.
Yeah.
It was like weird gaps,
100%.
but the powertrain is insane. So
Yeah.
you kind of love it, and you love that it still exists.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so
yeah,
I'll take
no,
that.
I'm sure it's a great driver's car.
Exactly.
I'm sure it's an unreal car to drive. I just like.
It just doesn't look.
I
that
think
good.
BMW is going backwards in their styling, like
I agree.
100%. I'm not the biggest fan of BMW styling lately, which is fine. I'm sure it'll grow on me, and then my statements will all be bullshit.
Just like our statements will be stupid when the 750 actually comes out, even though you and I are
I
hardcore,
hate that car.
not 750
No, I hate
fans.
that car.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hate that car when it comes out. I'm gonna hate that car in 10 years. I don't give a shit. The 720 was in my opinion, a perfect looking car from McLaren.
Yep.
It was an unbelievable driver's car. Granted, they have their funky little things, whatever, I don't care. Because I'm the biggest, anti-McLaren guy,
Right.
because of their reliability. But
You and Nick Kingsley.
the cars, you can't match a McLaren. The way it drives, the way it handles, the speed. Those cars are nuts. But why in the hell would they make a 750? This is just the dumbest thing. It doesn't make sense in the lineage. That's why I hate it. That is why I hate the car.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense.
They said
at
it was
all.
a brand new car, and it's not a brand new
Yeah,
car.
it's literally a paint matched 720S.
Exactly.
I'm
Had
so
you told
mad
us
about that car.
if they would have told us from the beginning that it was just a small
Just tell me it's a
evolution.
facelift.
Yeah, just tell me it's a facelift.
Yeah.
I'm willing to accept that.
They
Tell
didn't
me
name
it's
the
a not
new-
two version of the 720.
They didn't
I'm
name
fine.
the new R8 the R9 because they put a facelift. It's
No.
just another R8.
Exactly.
That shit pisses me off.
And the same thing with Lamborghini and how they've gone about their cars and whatnot for the last 30
Literally, they didn't
years.
name the SVJ just the SVJ.
Yeah, it's the Aventador
SVJ because
yeah.
it's a facelift with more power and it's rare.
Exactly.
Like the 750 is such a pointless car.
I
don't
agree
care.
with you 100%. Now, you said that you like to go fast in this car. We have it in Corsa. Is that the way to drive this car even on the street, or would you go ahead and put it in sport?
I mean, so the tune on Ego is going to be the best for the car.
Okay.
In terms of
Now, do you have
driving normally.
Is your ego tune? Is that how you have it, or is that Tyler's, or is that
there's a tune on the car.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I see.
yeah,
A literal
with the
tune.
exhaust.
Okay,
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
you.
So that is like Tyler's favorite. It's got more backfires, like it drives smoother. It's in comfort mode.
Right.
So that's Tyler's favorite way to drive it. If I see the term Corsa, I don't see any other term, so that's what mode the car gets put in.
We're children. Literally, that's what we are.
Yep.
I would probably do the same. Now, we are in a bouncier part of Scottsdale right now, so
Yeah,
you can
this
kind
road
of
is
tell it's getting a
horrible.
little bit bouncy, but it's not horrible.
Yeah, this car's pretty stiff.
Yeah.
It's not the ACR.
No. The ACR was
Yeah.
much stiffer.
Yeah,
when
the
you
ACR
and I left in the ACR back in November, it was October, November time.
Yeah.
And we left Echelon. The way that when we went over the bump out of the gate, it was like thunk,
Yep.
thunk, and then we did that today in the SV, and that wasn't that bad of a thunk.
Oh no. This car does drive way better than that car. That car is just like, that car is raw. That's all that car
Yeah.
is. That's if you like going fast, if you like cars that make you feel like you're a part of the road, get an ACRE. Holy shit, I love that car. I would die for that car. I love that car.
We got a Z06, C7 just past us on the other side. Might have been Z06 or Grand Sport. I'm not sure.
6. You're right.
It was a Z06?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, even at slow speeds, because we've gone ahead and done a couple of pulls, but not anything too crazy, because of the visceralness and how this car darts all over the place. Like,
Yeah.
the front end is nuts on this thing.
Oh, dude.
And people say, oh, you can't drive an Aventador SVJ slow. I don't know, man. We're going at an okay pace right now, and
Yeah.
I'm still having the time of my life.
It's also all about how you drive it. Like, you really have to know how to drive this car
Sure.
to drive this car. And I've been around so many big V12s, thankfully, that I've done a lot of hours in the big V12 cars, like Alex's 50th Anniversario, an SV, 2012 Aventadors. Like, if you just know how to drive the car and you know how to treat the clutch, it's an easy car to drive. It's a pretty simple car, but
Right.
it will put you in your seat when you drive it.
100%.
So this is also one of those cars, if you don't know how to drive a car, you will get lost real quick.
For sure.
This car can do some damage.
This is an insane experience for sure. So the last time you were on the Knights of the Photography Roundtable Pod,
Yeah.
which is one of my favorite episodes I've ever recorded
Yeah,
for
that
the
was
entirety
fun.
of the
Yeah.
podcast. Shout out to everybody that was on that. Yourself. Shout out to AJ, who's going to be on TT again soon. Riley, and Alex, of course, was on that episode, of course, and then Johnny. And we all went around the round table, and we all said what our favorite Lambos were. Now, you said Veneno is your
Oh,
go-to.
yeah, that'll never be top.
Exactly. But let's go ahead and talk about the regular 6 now that Revuelto has been released. Out of the big 6, where do you put Aventador, whether or not you want to use SVJ trim or not, where does it sit in the 6 of them? For
The
you?
top.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, so I love the Murcielago. I think the Murcielago is great, but it's not this. That's my problem. So, and
Have
I
you
also
driven Mercy SV?
no.
Oh,
My
okay.
God.
I'm just curious.
Mercy SV, yeah, that's gonna be a goal. I'll
That's-
drive one. 100%,
That's definitely a
but
goal, for sure.
Yeah, that is gonna be so. Well, okay, I lied. I have driven a Mercy SV. I'm sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't drive it hard because it was a customer car,
That's
but
fine.
I went and picked it up from a location and brought it to the shop. So I have driven a Mercy SV, but it was all under like 4,000 RPM. So it's very like, when you get into this area, like you have to be restrained, which sucks.
Yes.
Like with this car, obviously I have a little more freedom. I can actually drive this car if I wanted to. Tyler
Right.
wouldn't care. But the Mercy SV that I got to drive, I mean, I count it because it was driving on the street. Like I definitely drove
I
one.
count it. That's a big dick energy.
But
move
I
right
didn't drive it hard to remember it.
Yeah.
So that's funny you said that. The only SV I haven't driven, the only one ever, is the Mira SV.
there. Nice.
So that's gonna be
Which
like,
that's
gonna be like
one of the goats. Like
yeah,
legitimately.
that's gonna be.
So
when that
then-
happens.
But
that'll be
this
the
tops the lineage to you of the
Yeah.
entire 6. Going from Mira, Countach, Diablo, Mercy,
Oh, yeah, it's
Aventador.
not, in my opinion, it's not even close. Like, the Mercy is a great car. It's super fun. I've ridden it a bunch. I've been in the gated LP640. That was the best Mercy experience I've ever had.
Yeah.
With Alex, that was Lambo Jesus. Shout out him. That was a really great experience. That car was nuts. Felt fast. Shifted similar to this. So that was a really fun experience. But E-Gear Mercies just aren't that fun, in my opinion.
I think those ones, in particular LP640, those ones are the ones that you have to keep it over 3 and 4.
Oh yeah, you
Do
cannot
not
drive
daily
it under.
cruise
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what we were doing. Like, it's like this SVJ, we daily cruise through some stoplights, through town and whatnot. And again, as I mentioned before, I feel the experience regardless of how slow we are going. LP640s and Mercies in general, because it was the original incarnate. Oh my lord. God, I love car culture. Have I mentioned that already?
Turn around right here.
All right, fair enough. Shout out to the ITR boys who are following us right now. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, for real.
But I think, and I've never driven Mercy, but from what I can understand, Mercy for sure you have to go ahead and drive up above a certain RPM.
Yeah, unless you're in a gated car.
Unless you're in a gated car,
Yeah.
right? High cards,
Yeah.
first gen white Mercy is like probably the epitome. I mean, that car has a tick over 50,000 miles
Yeah,
on it
he's a
right
legend,
now.
dude. Drives
He's a
the shit out of
freaking,
that
he's a
car.
G. Like, if he ever listens to this one,
Yeah.
hey, the pod is here for you, my friend. But
Tyler's got a gated manual pre-LP.
we talked about that
Yeah.
right before we got in this car.
Verde Ithaca car, yeah.
Oh shit,
Yeah, really rare color, yeah.
that is. Ed Boleyn's LP640 is Verde, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Verde is
No.
640? No, his is not.
It's Verde. What's it? It'll come back to me. Verde. It's like a matte.
His is a darker green, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Verde Ithaca car is a very, very, like, almost like a highlighter green. It's very Verde Sing-esque. I think it was like...
Is Verde Ithaca? Is that the launch color of the original Huracan? I feel like it is.
Maybe. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't pay much attention to the Huracan when it came out.
I totally understand that.
But when the STO came out and the Performantes came out, then I got interested.
I got you. So, you take care of Tyler's collection. We'll go ahead. Let's talk a little bit about Tyler and whatnot. Because,
Yeah, of
again,
course.
he's granting us this experience, and it means the world to me.
Yeah.
So he's got the LFA, he's got the SVJ, he's got the STO.
Yep.
What is it about car culture that you think he brings to the table?
He's very similar to me in a sense of he's all about experiences, I would say. He really likes people enjoying experiences and stuff. He's not the biggest on going to car shows and stuff. He's just busy with life right now and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
When you're
it
successful like that.
well, it tells me a lot about him.
Right.
Giving someone like me, obviously I'm around hypercars, supercars all the time, so it's easier
Yep.
to trust me than like the normal person, which is a blessing for sure. But it just shows me that he actually gives a shit about what I'm doing with his cars. And it's only like good publicity for everybody, because it's like I'm letting kids that wouldn't get to sit in an SVJ sit in a car. Like, I tell them about these stories, like, dude, like, I'm so glad that like you get to drive these cars, because I just get bombarded all the time, and everyone always comes up to me and is like, what do you do for a living? Like, what's all this? How can you do this? Like, how can I make all this money? And like, when you go to car events, you don't really want to talk about that kind of stuff. You want to talk about cars, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm just like, hey, we can talk about the car.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you a single thing what Tyler does. That's not my business. That's not my problem. Like, if you want to ask him, maybe reach out to him.
Right.
And maybe he'll talk about it. But when it comes to the car culture thing, he really loves cars, so he wants to talk about cars. So that's why I think he enjoys me taking them out, is because it's all the same effect.
Yeah.
Except he doesn't have to talk about what he did to get to it, which, I mean, if you really want to know, go look at his Instagram.
Sure,
Like, it's all right there.
He's
so
got
it's
it
like,
right there. Yeah. I think it's just really important, and I know you know exactly how I meant that question. I bring it up within car culture because we talked about you. I feel like you're one of the pillars.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And you know that, and I think that you're one of those guys that the car community, I feel, has a gravitational pull towards you in a good way. I
try.
think a lot of the times where events are happening or whatnot, either you were there or you were the one that helped set it up. When was it? When we were doing the Nights of the Photography Roundtable, you had done that thing at Thermal.
Yep.
And
I was just at Thermal 3 weeks ago.
we're going to talk about that in just a second, my friend. But you told me and you told us at the roundtable, you said the charity event was what really got to you. And you want to go ahead and put in your own charity event. Have you thought about that a little bit more? And what do you think what you want to go ahead and do?
So I'm going to do something with children on the spectrum.
Okay.
My girlfriend works with kids on the spectrum.
All right.
And it's very near and dear to my heart right now, obviously, because I've met so many children that are on the spectrum, and like, they're such sweet kids. They're normal, like, they're normal kids with just a little bit different of a lifestyle, essentially. And it's important to me to give back to, especially with something my girlfriend does, because God bless her.
Yep.
And I just love kids. Like, I love kids a lot. Like my two little brothers are my best friends, so I try to give back to like the younger community as much as I possibly can.
Sure.
Because I think I just know how much it meant to me when I was growing up. That's the only reason I love cars, like just those stupid little experiences that
dude,
you'll never forget. So
you know, what I love about you is you make me feel like a hero. Like you know, everybody knows me. I'm pretty sure I'm a big extrovert. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that.
100%.
The Tormenting Tarmac wouldn't be as successful as it is, and it's maybe successful, but it wouldn't be as successful as it is in the sense of like people getting to know me if I wasn't as much of an extrovert as I am.
Yeah, 100%.
And I mention this because when I get home later tonight, my kids might be asleep. So when I see them tomorrow morning and I show them, yo, check out what Dad did today.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking legend.
You are a legend.
I am.
You're a hero.
And that means so much to me because I want to always be seen. I don't want to be seen as like the greatest thing on earth to my children, but I do want to go ahead and show them that you know, Dad can do some cool stuff.
Yep.
And I want them to ask me about this stuff because if this is what they want to pursue when they grow up, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I would
100%.
love for them to have the same passions as me. By the way, if they don't have the same passions as me, I'm going to adore them as much as I do now.
Whatever.
You know, my oldest has just turned 6. I told you I took him out to Southern California back in March. And you were like, yo, hit up OC if you've got some time. Take him to one of the Lamborghini Newport. And I was like, I would have had it not been terrible weather.
Yeah.
And by the way, it was terrible weather.
Yeah.
It snowed on the way out of San Diego on my way back
That's so
home.
crazy.
And Alpine.
Oh
It was
my
freaking
God.
nuts. But that's the sort of thing. Like, you know, I showed them the picture of when I did the 720 thing with Derek. Shout out to Hot Lab Studios. And my son was like, wow, Dad. And dude, do you know how that made me feel? Like,
That's probably the best feeling in the world.
I wanted to cry, man. I'm an
Yeah.
emotional ass bitch. I'm gonna admit that to you right now. I don't even have to admit that.
No,
Everybody that listens to this thing knows that I am, because I say that constantly.
Well, you're more relatable. It makes you more of a human when you actually have emotions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I'm not a big fan of hard asses, so.
And I mean, sometimes it's okay to be a hard ass, but if you want to show emotion, if you want to be a little bit Drake, it's okay to be a little bit Drake. That's tough. Just, you know, if you want to be zesty, it is what it is, baby. Now, we haven't even needed to get spicy in order to feel spicy in this car. How unbelievable is that?
Yeah, this car is an unbelievable driving experience at 2,000 RPM and also at 8,000.
Absolutely. It sounds so good. It's not drony. This is a great sound.
It's not super bad.
Yeah. So, let's talk about what you went ahead and did last month, bro. Because that was insane.
Yeah, so I've got another really great friend that I met through social media. So for anybody that says social media is toxic, it can be very good. It can be very good. It can be very bad. But in my experience, it's been very good. But I have a really great friend at Suave MCD on Instagram, aka Blake McDonald, aka Captain BMG.
Yeah, you guys are the BMG boys.
The BMG boys.
Yeah.
And he called me. He's like, "Hey man, I got an event coming up. I'd love for you to come." I was like, "Oh shit, shit." When he calls, it's like, I'm free.
Sure.
Tell my bosses I'm off.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you don't have me anymore. And so there's this thing called the Pagani Raduno, which is a Pagani only rally, which sounds fake to say out loud, but it is a Pagani only rally.
I mean, it's definitely not fake.
Yeah, it was real.
But it sounds fake.
It was so real.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you messaged me right before you left. You're like, I'm doing the Pagani, what's it called again?
The Raduno.
The Raduno. I was like, the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a huge car enthusiast, and I don't even know what that is. And when you sent me pictures and you posted some of the stuff on social media, I was like, oh, this motherfucker just went ahead and sent it.
So normally, like, I brought my digital camera, my film camera and stuff, and normally what a spotter would do, which is what people call me, but like I do private shoots more often than I spot, would just like camp out at these locations and like pray that they could follow these cars or find their way around or do this stuff, whatever. But I got invited to tag along on the Raduno, which is like I never ever once in my life thought I would ever do something of that magnitude, because it's like, when you're this in depth in the car community like I am, you hear a Raduno and you're like, holy shit, I'll be lucky to just go there for a day and see the cars. And Blake was like, yeah man, like I've got the Black Series here if you want to like be a part of the rally. And I was like, no, I'm good. Like, can you imagine?
Yeah.
And so I did that. Like, Kayla got to ride with me. We got to do a drive with 40 plus Paganis, Zondas, and Wyras, which is nuts.
Is that most of them that are in the world?
No, so there's quite a few Pagani's.
Okay, cool.
There's quite a few Pagani's. That's why it's easier for them to get these groups together.
Fair.
But it was a big portion of the U.S. cars.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, we had all those guys together. We did a drive through. Like, I didn't know that Palm Springs was beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Like, I had no clue that it was.
It's low key. It's low key nice, dude.
Dude, we went through the mountains and I was like, what in the hell? This is
Yeah.
like an unbelievable driving experience, especially in the Black Series.
Right.
So, yeah, we got to do that. Blake was like, yeah, man, like, surprise. And I was like, you're crazy, dude. Like, I can't even thank you enough. And we got to do that. That was the first couple days because it wasn't at the track the first couple of days.
Right.
We ended the rally at Thermal Club, which is a place I've told you about before.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jensen Button.
Yeah, Jensen Button. Can't believe he
Hero.
follows me. Hero, absolute hero.
He's gonna be doing Le Mans with Jimmy Johnson and a NASCAR stock car, and I'm just like, yo, this is gonna be fucking insanity,
Yeah.
and you love to see it. So, you know, what did you take the AMG Black Series on track?
No, so I didn't drive on the track at
Okay.
all for that kind of experience, especially.
Oh,
like,
that's there's a hold on, not to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, you're good.
But there is a wonderful reel that you went ahead and posted up on your Instagram account.
Yeah.
And I think that you are either, what is it, the Zonda or the Wire?
The Zonda Revolution.
The Zonda Revolution.
One of 5, one of 2 in blue carbon.
And is that the Matt Bray 86 that's filming?
So yeah, that was Brett 86 that was filming,
Yeah.
and then the owner of that car is at Faster LLC on Instagram. He's another really good friend of mine that I just, of course, happened to meet through my photography. And
Yeah.
like, I never like, I was just excited to go hang out at the track day, and like get rides, and like there's a professional driver that was there. His name's Patrick Liddy.
Yeah.
And the last time I rode with him was almost 3 years ago in a Super Trofeo Evo, which is a Huracan.
Yep.
And then I got to ride in it with an AMG GTR just now. And we were passing wires on the track 'cause he's a professional driver.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, drive. And he was like, okay. you said
AMG
it.
GTRs are real friggin' fast.
Oh, we were
Flying.
loading this car. Like,
Yeah.
it was insane, like how fast this car was going. And so anyways, that was just an insane experience. And then Devin was like, hey man, you really need to ride the Revolution. And I'm a big dude, unfortunately, so I didn't have a race suit.
We're beautiful husky men.
Yeah,
is what we
100%.
are.
I didn't have a race suit, and of course everyone that's Italian is literally 104 pounds, like
Facts.
4'1". So they didn't have any race suits that would fit me, none of this. And I was like, you know what? Let's let Matt and Michaela go. Like, I'd love for them to have this experience. So they both got to ride in it. And Devin's dad, the owner of the car and the collection, goes, we're getting you in this damn car. So he pulls off his personal race suit.
Yeah.
And lets me wear his personal race suit. Mind you, this is like a huge collector, like has a Wyra, has a Zonda Revolution, has a 918, like crazy cars. And he was just like the most down-to-earth, like nicest guy I've ever met. And he was like, dude, I'm getting you in this car. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm getting you in this car. You're gonna ride this car. Sure as shit, his suit was damn near an exact fit to my body type, and
you love to see it.
I got to ride in the car, and it was just like an unbelievable experience. Because like, I'm a big Koenigsegg guy. Like, I never really pursued Pagani's.
Right.
I don't know how the hell they just fell into my lap. Obviously, shout out to Blake, because it's all because of you.
Yeah.
And now I just get to experience things with this brand that are unbelievable. And like with Blake, I didn't want to step on any toes. So like, obviously Pagani had a media team. They're very they blur everyone's faces for all their social media, do all this stuff. So I didn't really want to step on any toes. So I didn't really take my digital camera out much. I kind of just like lived in the experience. And,
Yeah.
let me tell you, that was such a good thing for me to do. Like, I shot it on film, which is nice because it's cool, because it's really real.
Right.
It's very this is what's happening in the moment, which is cool. There's not really any. I don't edit at all my film stuff, so that was just such an unbelievable experience. Like, I can't even like. It's hard to explain how crazy it is seeing 40 plus Paganis in one location, let alone all being tracked at the same time.
Right.
And it's not like just like base Wyras or anything, which is a wild statement. It's like Wyra R's and Zonda Revolutions and
Zonda
Wyra
R's.
ECs and Zonda R's. Just like, it just was unreal. Like, I don't even know, like, it's hard to explain how absolutely mental it was the whole time. So
I mean, seeing it from the aspect of seeing your footage, seeing
Yeah.
Michaela's reels or
Yep.
her stories. By the way, can I just say something real quick before I continue with my point?
yeah, that's it.
Michaela is very spicy behind the wheel.
Yeah, she knows how to drive.
Like, she can drive.
Yep, she
I
knows how
saw
to drive.
that. She had, was it the STO?
Yep.
I saw her get spicy behind. I was like,
Oh,
get it, girl.
She knows how to
What
drive.
a freaking beast. So if she listens to that, yo, fucking ripping it
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
she
Jeep.
rips.
And so, but I brought up the reel of you being in the Wire Revolution because, like, I believe Bri86 is asking you, yo, Cody, you ready?
Oh yeah,
Your reaction was
he goes, "You
epic.
ready?" And I go, no.
No. It was so good, dude.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable experience. That car is now at the top of my list of cars because of that experience. That car was like, I've never ever like been in a car like that. And I've been in the Gara RS like hard. We were driving it, and for me that'll always be my top car forever and ever. But God, when I like. Hopefully we get to the point one day where I'm able to buy these cars for myself, which is obviously the end goal. That will be in my garage for my track car. It was such an unreal car. It was so visceral. That car was nuts. It was everything that I wanted in a track car. And that was like, oh God.
Where does that measure up as your 2023 experiences? Because obviously I can't.
The top.
The top?
Oh my God.
And we're only in May. By the time this releases, it'll be June, but we're only in May right now.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to another crazy event June 10th and 11th, which is going to be another wild experience that I can't talk about it much yet, unfortunately, but I'm sure we'll be on the podcast again.
I was going to, well, duh, that's a given.
Yeah.
Because Cody and I go together like why not, like a Coke and a Smile.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I heard that one. Yeah, I like that.
I just right off the top of the dome.
SVJ and a smile.
There you go. That's even better. It's beautiful because you don't take the stuff that you're doing for granted.
Absolutely.
As you should not.
I don't live a normal life. I know that. Like, like the stuff that I do, like I'm not as young as I was, but at 25, like I have a Rolodex of experiences that 100-year-old car lovers can't even like think of. So it's like, for me, like I talk to Matt daily about like the things we do are not things people do.
Right.
And we get to experience things that people would only like die to experience. So it's like when you sit back and actually think about the crazy things that you're doing, you really, really have to take in what you're doing and be like, hey, this can all be ripped away from you tomorrow, like legitimately. So it's like, I think that's why I base it all on just like I try to be nice to as many people as I can. I try to take
without
care of
ass kissing.
Yeah, it's not my, like, I don't give a shit. Like, and I think that's why Blake and I get along so well. It's like, is he a wealthy human?
Sure.
Does he have a Pagani Huayra? Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, I do not care. He's been good to me. I'm good to him. Like, I treat him like a normal person. I shit talk him like a normal person. He treats me like a normal person. He shit talks me like a normal person. We're friends. I don't care that he has money. He doesn't care that I don't have as much money. He just says, hey, bro, like, I've got an experience. I want you to be a part of it because I know you appreciate it and we have fun together.
Right.
And I think the people of that stature that I meet know that I'm not trying to take advantage of them. Like, I don't care. Like, bro, like, I'll go to Raising Cane's with you. Like, we don't have to do Overduno. Like, I just enjoy you as a person, so that's why I hang out with you. Like, and if you can tell that if you know, like, my friend group. Like, I just don't really...
I mean, we're all a bunch of hooligans.
Yeah, I love cars. All my friends love cars. My girlfriend loves cars. That's all I really want to do is just car stuff. And I don't really care who has money and who doesn't. Like, I'm going to keep it real with as many people as I can all the time without coming off as a dick or anything. Like, I just want to be more of, like, the person that anybody can talk to.
Right. And
get a straight-up answer and not just a, oh, you have this, let me not lie to you.
Right. I think the key, and you know, we've talked about toxicity in the car community, whether it's Phoenix or just in general, a few different times on this podcast. And I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I will say this, and I think it's important for us to remember this: the key to just enjoying car culture, however way you want to enjoy it, is just being genuine.
No, 100%. Yeah.
Does that mean 100%. That you have to be an asshole? No, it does not.
No.
But being genuine and being honest about things, being honest with yourself, being honest with the people. Like, you always get those DMs, it's like, oh, is this your car? Are you a racing car driver? Like, the abso-freaking-lutely not.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about myself. And Cody's going to tell you the same way. But we get the experiences that we get, whether or not it's you telling me, hey, man, you want to go for this run?
Yep.
ITR telling me, hey, man, we're going to how about you use our stuff for today?
Yeah.
Like, I can't thank Jesus and Raph enough.
Yeah, shout out them.
We were rolling down where we were rolling, and their little brother was shooting a reel on his phone, which I didn't expect to him. So it's like we're doing a low-key collaboration with ITR, and like my day is as if my day wasn't made enough.
Yeah.
But it's it's genuineness that makes your life good when it comes to any type of community that you are in.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And so this car it has brought an aforementioned amount of smiles onto my face today. I'm gonna call this episode Lamborghini Exercise Day.
Yeah,
with Cody.
That's what it is.
And honestly, that's what we did. We went ahead and stretched this baby's legs out. And if you were to go ahead and ask me what my experience has been with the Aventador SVJ right now, smile-inducing.
Yeah, it's a fun car. Like, it really is a fun car. Not a lot of people get to experience it. Unfortunately, I wish that more could, but
well, we're allowing others to be able to experience it from an audio perspective for sure, and thanks to ITR, hopefully from a little bit of a visual perspective too. As we get back over to Echelon, how would you say this thing stacks up against STO? Or STO stacks up against this?
So, two different cars.
Right.
Two very different cars. The SVJ is, you gotta drive this car. Like, this car, you gotta pay attention to the road, you gotta look in your mirrors, you gotta watch around you. Like, it's very, everyone looks at you in this car. So you have to be very, very cognizant of everything that's around you.
Yeah.
The STO, that car is fun because that car is just like, it's so easy.
Sure.
Like, it just,
which is weird.
It goes everywhere you want it to go. It turns great. It's fast. The paddles are perfect. It's really a perfect car. It's hard to like say that a lot.
It's the perfect dumb car.
It's a perfect car. It's fast enough. It could be faster. I think that's why the supercharged ones people like a lot more.
Yeah. VF Engineering got that thing dialed.
Yeah, I don't recommend the TTs on those cars. For what the car's made for. Obviously, if you're going straight, it's probably great to TT. But the supercharged ones, my buddy Blake Suave, he just got his supercharged from VF, and he said this was the best investment he's ever made on his STO. He loves it now because he's not a big Lamborghini guy.
Right.
And he bought the STO, and he was like, okay, like, so I'm praying it gets him to dabble a little bit further, maybe into a big V12 one of these days. But yeah, the STO that's a perfect car. I love this car more because this is more me.
Right.
I really like raw, I really like visceral, I like loud, I like obnoxious, I like cars that I can feel every single bump.
Yep.
The STO is just, God, it's so fun because it's so good, and like anybody can drive it really well. Like, it doesn't get loose, it just goes where you want it. It's a fucking great car, dude. I love that car.
You know, we were talking STO, Storado. Oh, hold on. Enjoy this, guys.
This is 10. Great. 0.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was something special right there.
There you go.
That was spicier than the ACR. And
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
the ACR was cracked.
Not even close.
Here's
Oh my God. This has been one for the ages, everybody.
Yeah,
this has been one for the ages.
Unreal car.
Oh my gosh. Storado just recently.
Unreal car as well. I want to experience one of those so bad.
In the dirt.
It's so obnoxious. I love that. Like,
it's the coolest stupid
why
car
would
ever.
they build that?
Because they can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like everyone like, oh, the Porsche one's cool. Well, so why isn't the Huracan one cool?
Same
concept.
I think that if you want to enjoy car culture, get a 911 car and a Huracan. If you can afford both, get both.
Yeah, why not have
Why
both?
not? Like, just enjoy it. Like, do your thing. That's what's going to go ahead and just if it brings a smile to your face, then it brings a smile to your face.
Oh, yeah,
If
100%.
it doesn't bring a smile to your face, then move on with it, and it's fine. Let everybody else that can get a smile out of it get a smile out of it.
Yeah, 100%.
I think we've had a great episode, my friend.
I think so too.
Is there anything else that you want to go? First of all, let's help Cody get to 100. We can reach 100K by the end of the year.
Listen, I hope. Like, it'll be cool. I'm almost to 60K. Like, I'm getting close.
Literally
I'm
taking you less
close.
than 2 months.
Yeah, it's moving quickly. I just need to be better at reels, I think. So I've been talking to a lot of guys that are growing fast as well.
Right.
So I'm gonna try to like touch on reels a little bit more. I don't want to get into video productions, God no. But maybe I'll do a little more behind the scenes stuff.
Does that mean that we're not gonna be able to get the YouTube channel, or is that?
No,
is that a little
tentative.
different?
So I will do YouTube.
All right.
But I don't know exactly what I'm going to do a YouTube with yet.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, I've got a lot of pretty decent connections to some pretty cool stuff. I don't really want to do like a Johnny Lieberman thing. I don't really want to do like a Doug DeMuro thing. Like, I kind of want more of a vlog style, but I also don't, like, it's so hard to be like, to do what I think I want to do.
Yeah.
But I'm not too sure. Like, I don't know.
Not to be cliche.
Yeah.
Follow what your heart thinks.
Oh,
that you should be
100%.
able to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead and
I'll never put out a piece of content ever that's not something that I don't want to put out. So It's like, if it's something that I'm even remotely like, it's kind of, it will not be put out. Like, I put out what I want to put out, and I think that's what pushed me to where I'm at. So I think I'm going to stick to that always.
And that's why you're the genuine.
Yeah.
You're one of the goats, baby. You know I love you. Man. I
you.
appreciate you so much. So, if you want to go ahead and follow Cody at CJN Photography, you can also follow him on his personal page where he puts up a lot of shoe content.
I do like
Shout out to
shoes.
Secured Sneakers.
Secured Sneakers.
Yeah, man. That Jarritos collab is making your boys smile.
I should have worn them. I didn't
It's
think
okay,
about
man.
it.
Next time.
Yeah.
Next time we're gonna have to go ahead and do it. I want to go ahead and give a special shout out to you and shout out to No Shoot Films, who was just here in the Phoenix area not too long ago.
Colby's cool.
Colby is amazing. She was just on the pod. She's launching Imperial Street, and I'm so happy for her and so proud of her. You guys have been the ones that, to me, have really been pushing film, and I'm starting to go ahead and see a lot more people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, which is exciting.
Which
it's
is
cool.
fun.
It's a
Yeah.
cool craft. Like,
It is.
I put it out because I think it's cool. It's more of behind the scenes. It's more of a like in the moment picture.
It's
like
one of
it's
those-
not dolled up.
It's
just
bringing retro back in
Yeah.
a good way. So if you're getting
100%.
into film, get into it because you feel like it's cool and you something to enjoy,
Yeah.
not because it's trendy. I'm gonna put that out there right
Yeah.
now. And from the most part, I can tell people are doing it because they are genuinely impressed by what they're seeing and
Well, and
want
it's
to
not
take
cheap. Like shooting real film. Like my Pagani weekend was $1,500 to shoot on film. Like that's not cheap to do.
Yeah.
So you gotta really want to do it right. So
I hear you.
yeah.
Well, thank you again, buddy.
Yeah, of course.
And thank you to Tyler. Massive thank you to Tyler.
Thank you to Tyler always.
Big thank you to Lamborghini for making this car.
Oh my God.
God, you guys are the goats.
Lamborghini over Ferrari. Sorry.
Oh, any day of the week, twice on Sunday. And then you can follow us at Tormenting Tarmac on Instagram. We're almost at 700. We're almost at 700.
That's
700
good.
followers. Yo,
You're
you remember
getting there.
bro? You remember in November we were over here having a
Yeah.
conversation, and you told me 400 followers doesn't seem like a lot until you have an event that has 400 people in it.
Yep.
We're at 700 almost. I have a goal. I'm gonna try and reach 1,000 followers on the Tormenting Tarmac Instagram account by the end of the year.
I think that would be easy.
I think we can go
I
ahead
think
and pull
you
that
should.
off.
If you're gonna push me to 100K, you should push yourself to 2,000.
I mean, I'm doing my best, buddy. Yeah, as long as the cool photographers in the area allow me to go ahead and post up their
I'm
great
here
stuff
for
on my
you
page,
always.
and I will appreciate it. Big shout out to ITR, Jesus, Raph. I appreciate you guys going ahead and setting up the equipment so we can go ahead and do this thing justice. And go and check out Tormenting Tarmac on all the streaming platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, of course, the Anchor app, and a couple of different places. We're gonna be. I'm gonna try to continue to give you as best interviews and as best content as I possibly can.
Yep.
And I'm very happy to say that, this one's for the PHX. We're doing this for PHX. This is for Phoenix, for Scottsdale, for Surprise, for Tempe, for Mesa, for Gilbert, for Chandler, for all of it. Like, we're trying to encompass it all, and I'm going to try and do my best not to let you guys down. So thank you guys for giving me the confidence to continue to try and bring you good content, because it means a lot. And I'm giving the love right back to you guys. So let's wrap this bitch up. This has been Tormenting Tarmac, Cody Nogowski, Jorge Aquino. It's the enthusiast. It's where the enthusiast never dies. Lamborghini scrambled my brains. Have a great one, everybody.